what and where are we going to explore today?
So, Elaine, that's a great question. Today, we'll explore all over the world, but our theme is waterfalls. Who here has visited a waterfall? Raise your hand if you've seen one here or somewhere else in the world. Yeah, so most of us have seen a waterfall, maybe from a viewing point or on a little hike out to get there. So does anyone want to share one of the waterfalls they have visited or seen? Hi, Rachel.
Hey, Rachel.
Rachel, we just got started and we were talking about waterfalls that we've seen around, near or far. Are there any that you have seen?
What's the waterfall that we went to?
I've seen the that waterfall that is in Rock City.
Ah,
Yes. Up at the top where you can see 7 states.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for anyone who's gone up Lookout Mountain, you may have seen that. You can kind of see it on the drive that there's this waterfall coming off of the top of Rock City. And Matthew, didn't you say you just went and visited Rock City?
Yeah, I just went there this weekend for the first time, and I know exactly what you're talking about, Rachel.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool to see.
Very cool. And Kendall, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Did you have one too that you wanted to talk about?
My dad and I were just trying to say that I was trying to remind him of the waterfall that we went to with my cousins on a hike. I miss doing that stuff with them, going hikes and some waterfalls, man.
Well, luckily those things aren't going anywhere. So as we get back out there in the world, they will be waiting.
What exactly? I just can't remember what the name was.
Yeah, Hosanna is officially open today.
Awesome.
We're officially not locked down anymore, so that's great.
Wonderful.
What's not locked down anymore?
Matthew,
My house is not locked down anymore, Emily.
That's good. I sat down because I was ordering my new iPod Touch. It's the same color, but it's 128 gigabytes. And with the case, y'all will be able to see the color.
Cool. Thanks, Emily. So as Elaine said, as I said, there's so much I want to show you today with waterfalls around the world. And we've seen some probably in the Tennessee area in Chattanooga. There's another one that's really popular close to Rock City. I wonder if anyone knows what I'm talking about. And it kind of falls underground. Anybody know that one? Emily, you know that one?
Ruby Falls?
Yes, Ruby Falls. It's actually going to be in one of these videos I'll show you about 10 of the most amazing waterfalls or strangest waterfalls.
There's also a raise hand feature in Zoom that y'all can use to raise your hand with.
Exactly. Thank you, Emily. That is a pretty cool feature with Zoom that you can raise your hand.
Remember, there's actually a waterfall that runs off of the mountain here. There's actually a mountain, part of the mountain where you can actually see the waterfall coming on.
yeah, there are several. And with the rain that we have had in the area, there's been a lot of waterfalls off both of the mountains. That's right,
Yes.
both Signal and Lookout.
Yes, there have been. So this is a great season for waterfalls, you guys, because of all that rain we've been getting. I'm a part of a group on Facebook called Waterfalls of Tennessee, and I will show you that page because it is just blowing up with people posting pictures of waterfalls around Tennessee, all around the state. So usually we go to Google Maps and we'll start with wherever the location is that we're exploring. And I'd like to do that again today, but it's going to look a little different than it did if we were, say, exploring New York City, since these waterfalls are all over the map. Okay, check this out. Let me share my screen so you can come along with me on our Google Maps. When I type in waterfalls, my computer recognizes my location. So it pulls up all of these waterfalls around us here. You see this? We are right in here. Here's Chattanooga, Ruby Falls. We have Foster Falls. Has anyone been there?
No, I have not.
Okay. Bridal Veil Falls, Cascade Falls, Falling Waterfalls, all of these falls really close to us. So we're lucky that we have close access to waterfalls. Now, let me take you over to the Facebook page in a minute. But first I want to ask, what does it take for something to be a waterfall? So I'll close out of that real quick because I'd like to hear from all of you your thoughts. What does it take for something to be classified as a waterfall? Anybody want to share their thoughts? Josh?
I think it just requires there to be a higher elevation plus a really steep little rock wall, plus you need some water that would flow and fall right down below to the ground below.
Yeah, those are great elements. Anybody else want to add anything else that makes up a waterfall? So in one of these videos about the strangest waterfalls, Josh, it might challenge that a little bit. There is a waterfall out there, or really it's more like a phenomenon or something that happens in nature that's called reverse falls. So the falls that are falling down like you would expect off a cliff, falling from a higher elevation to a lower elevation, or the water plunging down, sometimes the wind comes in and pushes that all back up. The wind is so strong, it can push the falls back up where they came from. So it's like this recycle of the water falling and being pushed back up. It's amazing. So I'm going to show you that in the video because I think the picture of it will explain it a whole lot better than I can. But your description was really good, Josh. Let me just show you on National Geographic what they say about waterfalls so we can wrap our head around them a little bit more. So basically a waterfall is a river, or it's another body of water that, in its simplest description, a waterfall is a steep descent of a river or other body of water over a rocky ledge, just like Josh said. And they show us a few different versions here. We're going to have the chance to see a lot of different waterfalls. This one is in Zimbabwe. This one here, the smoke that thunders, Masi Awatunya, I may not have said that right, is one of the 7 natural wonders of the world, at least classified by some as that. Angel Falls is the highest waterfall in the world. So this drop right here is more than 3,000 feet. I don't know if you remember, Elaine, how high Lookout Valley or Lookout Mountain is above the downtown part of Chattanooga. But that might give us some reference if you don't mind looking it up real quick.
Definitely do that.
Thank you. We'll come back to it when you're ready.
So Lookout Mountain, right, is about almost 2,400 feet. So it's a little under 2,388. So you think that waterfall right there is, I mean, 600 more feet. Right, so it's taller than Lookout Mountain.
Yeah, that's amazing. So Angel Falls is considered the tallest waterfall in the world because of that height of 3,000 feet.
Wow.
Yeah, it's incredible. Anybody know where Angel Falls is located in the world? which continent it is on. I'll
South
give you a
America.
clue. Yes, Josh. It's in Venezuela in South America, south of us. Iguazu Falls. This is another really beautiful one. And this is also in South America, in Argentina. This one back in the United States, Telluride Bridal Veil. This is in Colorado. And also kind of close to us in North Carolina, Bridal Veil Falls, Highland Bridal Veil. Okay, we're gonna jump out of that so I can share with you this next video.
I screenshotted these video online resources so I can look at them later.
Perfect. So we'll start with this one. It's about 5.5 minutes, just to wrap your mind around some different waterfalls all over the world. And then we'll jump back onto Google Maps and really pick them out and see pictures from all over what people have posted.
Watch me do my thing.
Sorry, they have us listening to some ads.
I don't like the ads, but you can only get rid of them with YouTube Premium.
That's right. Okay.
Number 10, Ruby Falls. Ruby
Whoa.
Falls is the most popular underground waterfall in the United States, attracting over 400,000 visitors every year. Found in the city of Chattanooga, which is set along the Tennessee River, Ruby Falls is also the
That's
deepest
so
commercial
pretty.
limestone cave in the U.S. It was named for Ruby Lambert, the wife of the man who first discovered it. The 145-foot waterfall contains high levels of magnesium, which is known as a natural laxative, so don't drink too much of it if you're already regular, if you know what I mean. Number 9, Ice Cave Waterfall. Iceland's ice caves are fascinating because they change locations every year and often feature breathtaking waterfalls. The light reflecting off the ice inside the caves contributes to the magical feel of these amazing wonders. Of course, where you have underground waterfalls, you have underground rivers. Take a look at the running water in this ice cavern called the Crystal Ice Cave. Number 8, Pamukkale. Pamukkale, which basically means cotton castle in Turkish, is located in southwestern Turkey, and its famous terraces are made of travertine, which are carbonate minerals which have been left by the flowing water. This amazing natural structure is 8,860 feet long, 1,970 feet wide, and 525 feet high. The spot has been used as a natural bath for centuries. When the ancient Greeks and Romans found it, they quickly discovered the curative properties of its warm mineral springs. For years, the springs have attracted crowds of tourists who are blown away by the splendor of the hardened calcium bicarbonate rolling over the cliffs. Number 7, Underwater Waterfall. In the Republic of Mauritius, the volcanic island nation in the Indian Ocean, you'll find this spectacular underwater waterfall. Yeah, that does sound strange, doesn't it? And technically, it isn't a waterfall per se, but it's pretty incredible, so we had to include it in this list. This magical natural occurrence is actually just an optical illusion that makes it look like there's an underwater waterfall within the ocean. As the sand and sediment sink farther into the sea from one coastal level to a much, much deeper one, it just looks like a marvelous waterfall, wouldn't you say? Number 6, Blood Falls. In McMurdo Dry Valley in Antarctica, a bright red 5-story high waterfall pours from the Taylor Glacier into Lake Bonny. Of course, it's not real blood that courses down off the cliff, and Blood Falls actually got its name from a 5-million-year-old underground lake whose iron-rich water seeps through an opening in the glacier and deposits blood-red stains on the ice when it falls, after coming into contact with air and erosions. The lake is really trapped under a 1/4 mile of ice and cut off from the atmosphere, so it's never seen sunlight and is completely deprived of oxygen. When the glacier started forming over the lake, the water below became salty. Today, the salt content is so high, even 3 times greater than seawater, that the water can't freeze, hence the lake and the waterfall. Number 5, Cameron Falls. Located in Waterton Lakes National Park in the province of Alberta, Canada, Cameron Falls looks totally amazing in the month of June because an extremely rare phenomenon occurs and makes the falls pink. This is caused by the torrential rains that stir up argillite, a particular mineral, and when the light reflects on it, it turns the water a beautiful pinkish red. Doesn't it look like an odd mix of blood and cotton candy? Number 4. The Bigar Waterfall. Though it isn't especially impressive as far as size or flow, the Bigar Waterfall boggles the mind because of its special shape and peculiar location. The water comes off a cliff, which is covered in moss and falls into a small river. Located on the 45th parallel, the Bigar is exactly halfway between the North Pole and the equator, making it one of the most unique waterfalls in the world. Number 3. Horizontal Falls. There are only 2 horizontal waterfalls in the world, and they're both found deep within Talbot Bay in the Buccaneer Archipelago of the Kimberley region of Western Australia. A great amount of water is pushed through this pair of gorges in the McLarty Range. It comes from powerful tidal waves that produce spectacular temporary waterfalls that can measure up to 15 feet. As the tide changes, so does the direction of the flow of water. When the tide falls or rises, the water builds up faster in front of the gorges, and then the massive tidal currents create a spectacular waterfall effect, a little bit like lava in a volcano, and water rushes through the gorges down to the lower levels on the other side of the ridge lines. Just beautiful. Number 2. Fog Waterfall. In a country renowned for its amazing landscapes and natural miracles, the Fog Waterfall was captured on camera and on video by Kashtin Gonstinsson, a native Icelander. This phenomenal natural wonder, which really is an anomaly, is apparently caused by an inversion in temperature, hot rising air acting as a seal and keeping cold air trapped under it, thus creating fog that falls off a precipice in Chupadale and into the Bridajador below. Totally breathtaking. Number 1. Horsetail Fall. In winter and early spring, Horsetail Fall flows from the El Capitan Mountain from 2 different streams and then drops about 1,570 feet onto slabs of rock, which creates a mist that goes up. Then the
So let me go back to that one really quick because we'll spend some more time on Horsetail Falls. I want to ask you guys, why do you think it's glowing like this? What's causing that? If you have an idea, go ahead and shout it out.
I'm not sure, Michelle, but I apologize you had to mute me. Apparently the buttons were making noise when I was screenshotting.
Oh, no worries, Emily. Sometimes there's some funky feedback going on. So no offense if I mute anybody.
Yeah, I have to mute myself because our four-legged friend of ours is barking up and down.
We understand. A lot of us have those guys in our homes.
The cool fact of the lights is maybe like they put like a special like LED light to put behind it.
Okay, I like that guess, Kendall. You think there's some kind of special LED light going on?
That looks like lava.
It looks like lava? It does, doesn't it? And
Yes,
this
it
was,
does.
so I don't know if he said it yet, but this is in Yosemite National Park. That's in California. Emily, do you really like this one?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, it's
I
beautiful.
screenshotted the beautiful one.
So this, believe it or not, is a natural situation. It's a natural phenomenon. And he's going to explain it to us right now.
rock, which creates a mist that goes up. Then the water continues its way down another 500 feet to the bottom of the mountain. In the last 2 weeks of February, Horsetail goes through an amazing change and becomes like a firefall. As night falls and the last rays of sun melt away, they hit the water and reflect off the falls at the exact right angle, creating an amazing effect that looks like a cascade of fire instead of water.
So, did you catch that with Horsetail Falls? That it's the reflection of the sun only over the span of like 2 weeks in February. It's happening right now at this time in February. So when I was looking online, there are a lot of people posting things from the last few days, pictures of Horsetail Falls, also called the Fire Fall, because it looks like the waterfall's on fire from the sun setting. It's really interesting for people who are interested in science and how this works. I have a couple of more slides on that too to try to explain it and why it is that it's only in these 2 weeks of February.
Yeah, last month's Smithsonian was all about Yosemite.
Oh, did they say anything about Horsetail Falls, Rachel?
Mhm.
Very cool.
Yeah, very cool. I thought it was pretty ironic timing for our meeting today. So let me jump to that before I get into some of these other waterfalls, just since we're talking about it.
My mom has been to a very, very, very beloved waterfall a lot of times because her family lived up there.
Is that this one, Horsetail Falls?
No.
A different fall?
Yeah, but it's the one who is froze over right now.
Oh, yeah. There are plenty of waterfalls that are kind of frozen over at this point right now in the winter.
Well,
And-
this is a very famous one that she's seen a lot.
Yeah. Do you remember the name of it, Rachel?
Niagara Falls.
Niagara.
Oh.
That is considered one of the most popular and well-known waterfalls of the entire world. Even though it's not the biggest, it's not the tallest. So we'll check that out too while we're in our meeting.
It's actually moving backwards because of the erosion.
Oh, that makes sense. Thanks for sharing that with us, Rachel. Also, Terrence wanted to give you a hello. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
And just so you know, Terrence, we are talking about all things waterfalls today in our club meeting. So I think you came in maybe in the middle of that video. But we'll keep on rolling with Horsetail Falls. So this is what we just saw in that video from a different angle. Basically, the sun's setting in the west, right? Sun rises in the east, sets in the west. And as we go through our different seasons, the sun is setting and rising at a different angle than it does in the summertime. And that shifts as we transition from one season to the next. So the way that works, there's some very scientific information out there that I had to really break down for myself to understand it. What they said, though, is that the peak of this, when it most looks like it's on fire, it's when the azimuth of the sun, and I'll explain that here in a second, is between 245 and 248 degrees. That's a very small window. We've got 360 degrees around the globe. A circle is 360 degrees. And so it's only in this small window over here when it's setting that you can see it reflecting off of the waterfalls. So it gets really scientific. It's pretty involved, but basically it's just meaning that the sun is setting just at the perfect angle to catch the light on the waterfall. And here is a little explanation of it that came out
Fine with the help of an expert.
Recently. This was February 17th. So that was just last week.
The Yosemite Firefall has captured the interest of photographers and social media users alike in recent days, as the light show returned to the eastern face of El Capitan, the park's famous rock formation. The phenomenon requires very specific weather and light conditions to be seen, and has begun appearing at sunset in the past week. But viewers will have a short window to witness the spectacle, which appears as a stream of light running down El Capitan's eastern face. The firefall can be seen for just a few minutes at a time, when a small water stream is backlit by the sun setting behind a cliff face known as Horsetail Fall, at a particular angle. Thousands of visitors typically descend on Yosemite National Park when the visual effect is forecast each February. Ticket reservations and other COVID-19 related restrictions are...
So we'll stop it right there. So that just explains a little bit more about Horsetail Falls and how that happens. Oh, hi, Lisa. Hi, Beth.
Lisa, she's in her room.
Oh, okay. Well, when she's ready to come join us, we'll be here. So what I have next, everyone, is another video that we won't watch the whole thing of, but I want you to see some more pretty cool waterfalls around the world, and then we'll come back to our map. And
Hey, Michelle,
yes.
where do my hair?
Hi, Beth. Is that you?
My hair's changed.
Your hair has changed.
It's red.
Oh, just like that waterfall that we saw. Well, Beth, do you need help getting the video on?
Yeah.
Push the button.
So down at the bottom of your screen, there's a little video button. It looks like a video camera.
That's my hair.
You can click on
Yeah.
that one. It says stop video. It's right next to the microphone button.
Microphone's over here.
So if you can find that at the bottom, just click on that and we should be able to see you.
And Michelle, I was left briefly to save those videos. Let's just subscribe to the channel.
Yeah, that's great, Emily. I can send them out too if you want to check them out later.
I push on top.
It's on the bottom of the screen.
I'm here. Yes.
Kendall,
If
did
you're
you say?
using an iPad, it's on the upper right.
Thank you. Yeah. So I think they're on an iPad. So Beth, look at the top. And there should be a little camera button. Like a video camera.
Like checking out.
Is this for you? Are they talking?
No.
Oh, no, we're all good, Denise.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
I just heard directions and I thought I heard Seth and I thought, okay, let me see.
Up them out.
Okay, good.
Yeah, thanks, Emily and Elaine. I forget that it's different on different kinds of computers and iPads.
And I know about the features too. Like there's a raised hand feature, there's reactions.
How
Yeah.
does this?
I'm
Nice.
using my love one for all of
We
y'all.
see you guys.
Oh, Beth, it looks great. Your
I
new
like your
hair.
hair, Beth.
Thank you.
And I use my love reaction for everybody.
Nice, Emily. Well, Beth, I'm glad you could join us.
I'll get my hair done Monday night.
Well,
It
good.
looks
Just
awesome.
yesterday. It does look awesome.
Yes,
Nice.
it's red.
Yeah. Very, very cool. So,
Are in place.
oops, let me see. We're
So
going to-
there's that waterfall, Beth, that looks red too, kind of reddish orange.
Yeah, I like your hair.
Nice. You're getting a lot of likes on that hair, Beth.
Yeah.
So this, I forgot I'd
I'm
added this
moving.
in.
This Tuesday,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm moving.
Next week.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. That's a big deal. We'll be thinking about you while you go through all of that. It's exciting too, I'm sure. So before we totally move on, this is just to show you how short that window of time is. And like he said in that last video, there's only a few minutes that you get to see it looking like this. Okay. This next one explains a few more waterfalls. We won't watch the whole thing because we don't have time for it, but we'll watch the beginning part. And did you see there was horizontal falls in Australia? That's something that was surprising to me, that there were horizontal falls.
wow.
Go backwards to some of the tallest. Here are the most amazing and incredible waterfalls in the world. Number 9. Reverse waterfalls. All over the world there are waterfalls, but in certain places there are ones that seem to go backwards. These types of waterfalls seem to defy gravity and actually flow upward instead of down via the normal forces of nature. And it's not just in one place that they can be found. They're all over the world if you know where to look. Some of the places you can find these reverse First waterfalls include the Faroe Islands, which lie in between Iceland and Scotland, the jungles of Chile, and a few others. So that begs the question, how does this happen? Do you know why? The answer is actually wind. The winds are so strong in these areas that they literally lift the water up with such force that they appear to be flowing upwards instead of downwards. Naturally, this doesn't happen everywhere, but when it does, you're not likely to forget seeing a waterfall that defies gravity. Number 8. Ban Geoc Det Yan Falls. Found along the border of Vietnam, the Ban Geoc Det Yan Falls are actually a duet of waterfalls depending on the season that you're in. During the wet season, the two waterfalls pour out large amounts of water, but then during the dry season, they actually fuse to become a singular waterfall. The waterfalls themselves are about 200 feet tall and send the water dropping about 100 feet below it. They are the fourth largest waterfall to be found along the border of a country or countries. In this case, it borders China. There is a bit of controversy surrounding these waterfalls, however. Despite them being the marked border between Vietnam and China, there's some dispute by the two countries as to where exactly that line is to be drawn. A stone tablet or sign is said to be the marking of the border, but many arguments have been made about it, including the Chinese saying that during a very brief war they had in 1979, that the tablet was moved to try and prove that the waterfalls belong solely to Vietnam. These disputes are still going on to this day. Number 7. Jog Falls. Specifically within the state of Karnataka, Jog Falls is 830 feet tall, and it's actually the second steepest waterfall in all of India. Due to where it's located, tourists like to go and hike up to the very height of the thin falls, and then look out at the lush setting packed with all sorts of greenery. Jog Falls is a plunge waterfall, which means that it's one that goes over a steep vertical drop, or a series of drops before hitting the surface on the ground. The Sharavathi River is the literal creator of the falls, but because of it being the source of a dam which powers a hydroelectric energy station, the falls themselves are incredibly narrow, with the exception of the monsoon season in which Jog Falls grows exponentially in its water power. It's a beautiful place to visit. Number 6.
Okay, we'll pause right there. So we have, I don't know if you've been tracking this at all, but in these two videos so far, it's taken us all over the world. From Australia to Vietnam to China to, I don't think we got there quite, but Croatia, Canada, the United States, South America, Africa, Europe, Greenland, Norway. I was just typing in what country has the most waterfalls. And it's not known for sure because sometimes waterfalls come and go depending on the water conditions or the weather patterns. But it's considered Norway has a lot of waterfalls. So what I'd like to do next is jump over to our map. Well, I want to show you waterfalls in our area before we go to those. So we can see some more beloved and maybe familiar waterfalls that you've heard of or seen already. Hi, Grace. Is that Gracie?
Yes. Sorry,
Hi,
we're
Gracie.
late.
Oh, no worries. Good to see you guys. We're just about to see some more waterfalls.
I'm sorry I'm late too, Michelle. I was doing last minute packing.
Here in our area. Oh, no worries, Alyssa. Hi, welcome.
So
Dr.
I'm here
Alyssa,
now.
I gave y'all my email and number.
Okay. Oh, hold on. Let me go hold on. I'll be right back, y'all.
All right, Alyssa. Okay, so check this out, you guys. This is a Facebook group, the Waterfalls of Tennessee. We've had a special guest on here, Barry Cole, who has talked about waterfalls in the past that we did specifically here in our area. And he introduced me to this group where people in our area are posting beautiful pictures they take. This was taken yesterday in Wayne County. Some local waterfalls. They may not be huge, but they're right here in our backyard. Here was Sunday Adventure. see. Chilhowie Mountain, Benton Falls. Isn't that peaceful? Just watching the waterfall cascading over those rocks. I think they've done some research to say what is the most comforting and soothing sound, and it can be running water for some people. Sound of running water. Here's another one of Benton Falls. Gorgeous. Yeah, very cool. So you can see people go kind of crazy about waterfalls. They're hunting them out. They want to find them, explore them, get pictures of them. And there are a lot to be found here in our area. So with the nice weather we've had, I was able to get out as well. And this is some of what I saw. So on Sunday, I took a quick trip over to Blowing Wind Falls with Ritchie Hollow Trail. And that's basically the base of Signal. And wrapping down from the bottom, you hike up to this area. And it was really cold still in the shadow of the mountain. You can see there was still ice. But it was a beautiful day and lots of water coming down from some of the rains that we had and from the storms that we had in the area that added to the waterfall or the water amount coming out of the rivers. This was another one from a week ago, Fall Creek Falls. It was my first time being there, and it was incredibly foggy when I first got there. You can see this middle picture. You could hardly make out the falls at all from the viewpoint. So I hiked down to the bottom, and this is what I saw. Just a ton of water. And then when I jumped back on that Facebook group, I saw a lot of other people had posted photos too and said that it was raging. This is a lot of water, I guess, for these waterfall areas. So this is really waterfall season for people who are all about seeing those big amounts of water coming down off of the rocks. Okay, so now that we've seen some from these videos far from here and some that are close by, we'll just map it out. Google Maps is one of my best friends because it also shows you amazing photos that people have taken. Was there any waterfall that anyone wants to see again first from the videos or from something that's close by? We can start there.
I really see the ice caves.
Okay. Those were Ice Cave Waterfall in Iceland. Oh, it may not find it for us. This was one I didn't test ahead of time. Oh, okay, let's check this out and see if it's it. It says Iceland. Okay, here we are. The country of Iceland, the island country, which, fun fact, you guys, Iceland is actually quite green and Greenland is actually quite icy. You didn't know that. That's a fun little fact. Okay.
Yeah, they kind of pulled a prank on us with the names.
Right.
They sure did.
I saw that on a meme.
Oh, that's pretty.
Perfect. So like they said, these waterfalls change every year depending on the weather. And here you are inside the cave. It looks like it's pretty cold.
Yeah.
Oh, pretty.
So, oh, there we go.
That's good.
Oh, that's pretty.
Very cold.
Yes.
It looks like it's difficult to get there too. Wow.
Whoa.
Nice. Where else in the world? What did you see that you want to see more of?
Michelle,
Ruby Falls.
Sorry, Emily, go ahead. Say that again.
Ruby Falls.
Ruby Falls.
What were you going to say?
Oh,
Elise?
yeah.
I was going to say, check out Fall Creek Falls.
Oh, yeah, for sure. So this picture was taken just last month inside. Don't see the falls yet. Can see that from the highway. Welcome to Ruby Falls. The
Has anybody raise your hand? Have you been to Ruby Falls?
I have.
There it is. Yeah, I have
That
not
is
been.
gorgeous.
That's really.
Yep.
So this made the list for 10 of the strangest waterfalls. And we've got it right here in our city.
Oh yeah. Let me see you.
Hi, Julie. Good to see you.
Hey, I just want to tell you, I'm sorry I'm late, but my iPad wasn't working.
Oh, no worries, Julie. I'm glad you figured it out and could join us.
Yeah, but my sister had to help me.
Okay.
Yeah, Miss Michelle, I was doing last minute packing, so I'm here now.
Okay, awesome. So Fall Creek Falls, is that what you said, Elaine?
Yeah, to see some cool stuff in case, because you said you just went there, right?
I did.
So how long did it take you to get there from Chattanooga?
It was about an hour and 20 minutes, I think.
So it tastes like cough medicine.
A little over an hour to get there, but it definitely did not look like this when I was there. It was so foggy you could hardly see anything. Fall Creek Falls. Let's see. Oh, here's a good one from the top. It's a beautiful waterfall.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. There was a very exotic one that I wanted to pull up. Pamukuk. The Pamukuk Falls in Turkey. That was the one that had almost like little pools. And there was some kind of mineral that made that happen. Oh, I can't find it.
You almost forgot to ask, Matthew, what kind of waterfall do you want to see?
I think I want to see this one that in Turkey.
The Pamukuk. I think there was another word that I had to use to find it. I'm not sure. Here I've talked it up and I can't find it in the world. Okay. Okay, we'll move on to another one. These are some of the biggest waterfalls. Niagara, I heard someone mention that. Let's travel over to Niagara Falls. Which two countries is Niagara between?
America and Canada.
Yes, thank you,
Nice,
Josh.
guys.
Nice.
But the prettiest site is on the Canadian side because.
So there you can see, here's Canada.
Yeah,
Here's
so
the United States.
So you guys, what Rachel was saying is, so you can see it, right, from two different countries. And so one side, if you look at it in that direction from the Canadian side, they say that it's typically prettier, right? I think it shows more of it. I have never been there, but I think that that's the deal. You can actually see more of that fall part and it falling down.
I love it.
Yeah, that's what it does, Elaine. I've been
That's
there.
pretty.
It shows more of it, and then you can also
That is
take
pretty.
a tour down with a boat, and they could take you right close to the waterfall because you have to wear these rain like coats or jacket, whatever, from
Yeah.
people getting wet. Yeah, there it is. There goes the little boat right there.
Yeah, yeah.
There it is.
I know what I'm saying.
Okay.
Cool.
And here's a viewing point for a bunch of people.
That's pretty.
This is pretty cool at night.
It is.
And it's frozen over right now
Whew.
because it's very cold.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So
And look at
waterfalls waterfalls really fluctuate depending on the weather. They don't stay consistent all the time. It depends on how much how much rain we've had, if there's dam involved that keeps it held back, and if it's controlled by man or controlled by nature.
I have a question about the Niagara Falls. I got a little question about it. I wonder how big the Niagara Falls is.
It's a great question. Do you mean like how big and how tall it is, or how much water comes off of it? I wonder if Matthew, Catherine, or Lee, you guys could jump up on that and let us know either how tall it is or how much water comes off in general from Niagara Falls.
Can you guys see me or at all? Can you see my? Oh.
Yeah.
I'll spotlight you, Elaine.
Okay, let's see. Oh, it's because I. But here's what Rachel was. Woo, here's what Rachel was talking about.
Oh,
So
wow.
see
That's
how
pretty.
Yeah, so see how a lot of it. So it's still got some parts over here that are still flowing, but you can see. I just
Let him
messed
have
it up,
to
you
do.
guys. But you can see where some of it is actually completely frozen over because it's so cold there right now.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Well, Michelle, I just looked it up.
Oh,
and
yes.
It says here that Niagara Falls is between 167 and 188 feet tall.
That's crazy.
Wow.
So, and anybody remember the tallest waterfall, Angel Falls? How tall that was in feet? It was taller than Lookout Mountain is from downtown, right?
Wow.
Yeah, 3,000 feet from the top of
Wow,
Angel
that's
Falls to the
big.
bottom. So Niagara Falls, it's really popular and well known, but it's only less than 200 feet. So as far as the world of waterfalls go, it's not huge compared to our tallest one of Angel Falls.
Just wide.
Don't say that. Don't say.
Definitely beautiful though and well known. So was there any other waterfall you guys wanted to see that we'd pulled up on our videos? Because I know we're running out of time. I don't know how the time goes so fast in these meetings. There's always more that I want to share with you, but I think we'll have to leave it there.
Always more to explore.
Michelle, the time always flies by when you're having fun.
Yes, Jimmy, it sure does. I always have fun when I'm here in these club meetings with you guys.
I think that Julie has her hand up.
We had fun yesterday, Elaine.
Elaine.
Yes.
What's her hair?
That's got her hair there. Look. It's red.
It looks so good. I really like it, Beth.
It's red. Very, very
red.
Dark red.
You look like a fire ant. But in a cute kind of way.
That's right.
Like the Firefall in Yosemite National Park.
Oh.
Julie, are you ready? You had something to share or ask?
Hey, Michelle.
Just a moment, Kendall. I think Julie was going to share something with us. We'll just let her get unmuted real quick.
Hey, can you hear me now?
Yes.
How about Pigeon Forge?
Pigeon Forge.
Waterfall.
Let me see if I can get it back on. Gallery mode.
That's why I was asking.
You guys help me out. Is there a waterfall there in Pigeon Forge?
Yeah, that's so.
Yeah.
Is that what it's called? Pigeon Forge Waterfall?
Sorry,
I'm not sure about that one, Julie.
So what I've seen is that there is some near it. I'm not seeing one specifically that says Pigeon Forge Waterfalls, but there are 4, I believe, kind of near it.
Okay. Can you give us one of those names, Catherine? And I'll pull it up for us.
Yes. So I believe the first one is Laurel. Falls. Laurel. Falls.
So I think, Julie, that all of those kind of are in the Smokies, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So there's definitely, I think even some of the ones that we saw on that Facebook page that Michelle showed us with the what's the group called, Michelle?
Waterfalls of Tennessee.
Yeah, the Waterfalls of Tennessee group, that they have some of these listed on their Facebook page. So Abrams Falls and some other, but they're all in the Smoky Mountains, right? Close to if you were going to Pigeon Forge or Gatlinburg.
Yeah.
My favorite place.
Yeah. So that group, they do branch out a little bit beyond Tennessee. Like I saw some hosts from Georgia and Alabama and North Carolina. But that's a great one, Julie. Thanks.
That is so pretty.
Thank you. I'm sorry I'm late.
Oh, no worries, Julie. No worries.
I was too, so don't worry about it.
Well, you guys, just so you know, if you want to explore more on your own, then Google Maps can be a really cool resource for that. I can always share these videos if you want to look back and find those videos, see the falls again and where they are in the world. It's pretty amazing and kind of unifies us. The world is huge, right? And there are so many waterfalls, thousands and thousands of waterfalls in the world. But there's a group of people out there that just love waterfalls, and you can be united by that common interest. There's something beautiful, I think, for everybody in a waterfall.
You can go fishing too.
Exactly.
Yeah, all kinds of recreation. What's that, Alyssa?
Beth, you tell them that you like to go fishing.
I'm going fishing.
Oh, nice, Beth. You'll have to teach me one day. I'm not a very good fisherwoman.
Yeah, me too, Michelle.
Yes, Kendall. Thank you for waiting.
Fish. For me real quick. It's called the Downstream Upstream Trails at Rock Island State Park. It's called the Rock Island.
Rock Island State Park.
Actually, they're called the Downstream Upstream Island.
Oh yeah, that's a pretty one, Kendall.
So what is it? Oh, I see it. Here, I'll share my screen for this one last waterfall that we're going to check out together. Here it is, Rock Island State Park. This one?
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Oh, that is pretty.
That's beautiful. Wow.
Here, that's the one in my book right here. See?
Pretty. Very pretty.
It is.
When I get out of screen share, Kindle, we can spotlight you to see it.
Yeah, that looks like a good resource book, Kendall.
Yeah, it's called Hiking Tennessee.
I like how it's spread out.
So
yeah, it's really wide, isn't it, Julie?
It
may
is.
not be super tall, but it's wide.
And it is, I'm trying to figure out where it is on the map. Oh, it's not very far from us. We're here. Nashville is here. Rock Island is kind of in the middle. Very cool. So, Kendall, can you hold up your book again? And we'll spotlight it. That is a very nice resource. Is that waterfalls in general, or is it about something else?
Oh, the Hiking Tennessee Guys to State's Greatest Hiking Adventures.
Very cool. Yeah, you'll find a lot of crossover with hiking resources and waterfalls.
Yeah, I got that from Annie. My friend Annie got me this book. So.
Oh, nice. That's very sweet.
There's like a lot of places that.
Well, you guys, I'm sorry I have kept you over on time. I got all jazzed about waterfalls. But I'm thankful that you explored with us today. We just toured the world and checked out a few fun facts about them, and maybe learned about some new parts of the world, or learned something new about waterfalls in general. And maybe it sparked some interest in you to explore some more as you are able, whether it's virtually or in person. So with that, we'll have to let you go. Hopefully you can get outside too at some point and enjoy some of this warmer sunshine.
I already been out there. It
The
feels so
rain
good out there.
comes.
Oh, yeah.
And thank you so much for coming. It's great
Thank-
to see all of you guys.
Thank you guys. I'll see you
Thank
Thursday.
you guys. It's so good to see you.
Thank you, Elaine. Thank you, Michelle.
Thanks, Josh, for coming.
And Julie, you can hang on a minute. We'll answer.
Okay.
We'll talk to you in just a minute
Bye-bye.
here. Bye, Josh.
Bye. See you
Bye,
Thursday.
Rachel. See you Thursday.
Hi.
Perfect.
Bye, Gracie.
What are we doing on Thursday?
Still in chats on Thursday. Bye,
okay.
Terrence.
Okay.
Bye. See you on Thursday.
See you on
Bye,
Thursday.
Rachel.
Bye, Seth.
I couldn't make it yesterday because that was, yeah, it was too late for me.
Oh, no problem. I know timing can be tough with dinner schedules and all that.
3.5 hours.
All right.
Bye, Denise. Bye, Seth.
Bye, Denise. Bye, Jimmy. Julie, did you have a question?